Hi everyone. It's been a really long time, and I mean, like, I don't know how long. Maybe it's been eight. It feels like a year. It feels like a 1 year since I since I continued my MCU movie reviews. I know the last movie we stopped was Thor: The Dark World, so now we're gonna move on to Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Sorry there was like a 1 year gap in between. It's just that there's been there's just so many things going on with my life, and my life is it's getting very with everything that's going on. It's very difficult to maintain. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Okay, it's difficult to maintain my life here on YouTube, here on YouTube, and my life as a student, and also my life as me working. So it's been crazy. If I wasn't in college, if I wasn't working, then my life would be a lot more easier. I would be doing YouTube. I would be doing YouTube every single day, and I'd be releasing, publishing videos every single day. But it is what it is. But anyway, enough about that. I like I said, I apologize that there's been a huge long gap in between, but now we're back and we're still continuing on. We're gonna start off with Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and something that I want to say right off the bat is that yes, I will be spoiling this movie. This movie came out in 2014. I mean, it's 2019. It's it's 2019. It's almost 2020 in another month. So you had plenty of time. You have five years, maybe 5 to 6 years to watch Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which is like a 2-hour movie. So you had your chance. So we're gonna get into it. And another thing I will be talking about is that I will not be getting into. I will be spoiling this movie, but I'm not going to get into detail. I'm not going to start off by. I'm not going to talk about the opening to the opening of the movie all the way to the end. That would take forever, and this video would be over like 30. That video would be over 30 to an hour long video. I'm pretty sure you don't want to stay around and hear me talk for 30 minutes to 1 hour. So I'm going to keep it simple. Whatever comes in my mind, I will be talking about it. So at the opening of this movie, and at the opening of this movie, we get introduced to the character of Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, and they set off, and they set up a tiny bit of his origin, or not his origin, but like his superhero career. He used to be like this, not a pilot, but like this. He used to go on these missions with his partner Wiley, but then I don't know what happened. Maybe I think he stopped being Falcon after the death of Wiley. The death of Wiley made him stop going on his mission and just stop completely. But anyway, we get introduced, and I already I liked his character. I like this character. I was thinking to myself, I think I'm gonna like the, I think I'm gonna like Falcon, and yeah, as the movie continued on, um, he became a very good ally to um, Captain America, and this movie is basically like a fish out of water for Captain America, for Steve, because after the events of the first Avengers movie, after the Avengers movie from back in 2012, after that movie, Captain America is still, he's adjusting to the modern world. There's a lot of stuff he doesn't get, that he doesn't understand, but he's trying his best to get along with, to catch up and to see what he's missing out. And yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because it made me think of Wonder Woman. I know that's DC, but whatever. They're both superheroes. At least they're both superheroes. But Wonder Woman, you know, her movie was a fish out of water story, and the same thing here. Like Steve is, like I said, he's adjusting to modern world. He's still getting used to a lot of stuff. So yeah. And something that I think people are not, I don't want to say they don't understand. I don't want to say people don't understand, but what's the better word? What's the better term? I guess people don't appreciate Captain America. Let's go with that. They don't appreciate Captain America. Oh no, wait, they don't respect, you know. They don't respect, they don't appreciate, they don't take Captain America very seriously. Like in Captain America the First Avenger, yeah, you know, Captain America is cool, like, you know, is pretty cool, but yeah, Captain America is pretty cool, you know, pretty cool. And in the first Avengers movie, he didn't really I feel like he didn't do that much in that movie, in the Avengers movie, because he's sharing the screen time with 5 other characters, with 5 other actors, with 5 others characters. But in this movie, oh my god, like the Russo brothers, Joe and Anthony Russo, what they did with Captain America and making people respect the Cap. Like before this movie came out, what I'm trying to say is that before this movie came out, you know, I like Captain America. I don't care what anyone else says. Don't mess with the Captain. I love Captain America. I really liked him. He was always my favorite Avenger. Like out of all the members of the Avengers, he's my favorite. And it's so, and it's kind of sad that people don't like Captain America that much. I mean, you got Iron Man, you got Thor, Hulk, but no one respects the Cap. Like I said, no one respects the Cap. Maybe it's because, but this movie made Captain America a fucking badass. Like, oh my god, in the beginning of this movie, when Captain America jumps out of the plane without a parachute and then onto the Lumarian star, whatever. When he jumps onto that ship, he jumps on that ship, he punches people, he kicks someone and sends them flying halfway across the room. He punches, he runs into a wall, he breaks shit. It's like wow, I didn't know Captain America can do that. I don't know Captain America could be this badass, but he is. And thank you to the Russo brothers for making Captain America into a badass. And so moving on, and I feel like Captain America the Winter Soldier, I feel like this movie is more of a spy film. It's more of a spy film than it is a superhero film. Like, when you think of it, yeah, there is Captain America is a superhero, but with everything going on in this movie, it really, so many, sneaking and so many espionage and so many stealth tactics and all that. There's a lot of that in this movie, and at the end of the day, you realize, yeah, this isn't a superhero movie. It really is a spy movie, and I think that's great. I think that's great. I think it's great to like branch out into other things, and also the twist at the end, near the end of, well, not, I don't want to say the end, but maybe the middle of the center of this movie, when it's revealed that Hydra has been secretly infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D. for all this time, for all these years, and it raises some questions about the past movies that I think Honest Trailers or Cinema Sins brought up. And if you want to find out what those questions are and the answers, if you want to find out what those questions are, definitely check out their videos. For example, why didn't if Hydra was inside, has infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. for all this time, then why didn't S.H.I.E.L.D. or anyone pick this up from back in the Avengers movie, when I believe Tony Stark, I think he chipped or bugged S.H.I.E.L.D., one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. computer bases, to find out what Nick Fury's secrets are. In the movie, back in that movie, he said, Nick, Captain, he's a spy. He's the spy. His secrets have secrets. I'm quoting what Tony said in that movie. So it raises some questions. It raises some unanswered. It raises some questions that are very confusing, because now, why wasn't, like I said, why wasn't this brought up? Why wasn't that brought up? So yeah, and then let's move on to Black Widow. And she was first introduced in Iron Man 2 and then Avengers, and then now she's returned to Captain America the Winter Soldier. And the way she's with Steve, the way she's with Captain America, and when the two of them are hiding from the strike team, who are secretly Hydra, she's telling Cap what a spy would do and say, and would make sense because Black Widow is a spy. For example, laugh at a joke that I just said, or kiss me. People, what did she say? She said, when Steve and Natasha were on the elevator, she said, kiss me. Public affections make people uncomfortable, or something like that. That plus her kicking tons of ass in this movie, it makes me very excited for the Black Widow movie. If what I just saw is going to be in that movie, then I'm very hopeful for that movie. So, moving on, there are a couple revelations in this movie. A lot of things were revealed, a lot of twists and reveals in this movie. Like for example, like I said, Hydra is S.H.I.E.L.D, and Alexander Pierce, Robert Redford is the leader of them. Well, I don't know if he's I don't know what they say exactly. Like, is he the leader of Hydra, or if is he the leader of Strike, or this faction of Hydra? Not like the entire organization, but just this one faction that's in the movie. I think the one faction. I think it would make a lot more sense. I don't think he's a leader of Hydra. I don't know. Anyway, that and killing off the and then killing the council, the Shield, or not the Shield Council, but like the United Council, the UN Council from around the world. Which we saw them. We saw the council in the first Avengers movie, but now in this one they're all killed. All the members were killed off. So yeah, that's a lot. So, I guess you could say they serve their purpose. They serve their purpose, and we should all move on. I think that's what they're trying to say with that. And the whole Winter Soldier, I can't believe Jeremy Johns in his review of this movie that he didn't know that in his spoiler review he didn't know that Winter Soldier was actually Bucky. Like I see, like in his review he said what was it? He said that he was looking up, like when during the time the trailer was released, he looked up the Winter Soldier. He thought he was just some He thought he was just some asshole, but he didn't know. But he didn't know that it was actually the dude from the first Avenger, Bucky. And he was like, I didn't want to know that. But yeah, that twist. I mean, I already knew. I knew Bucky was the Winter Soldier because I've played video games. I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I watched Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I done my research. I already know. I done my research. I watched WatchMojo.com. I watched WatchMojo, Variant Comics. I already know that Bucky is the Winter Soldier. It was no surprise. So it was no surprise to me. It didn't surprise me when Captain America and the Winter Soldier were fighting, and then then Captain America flipped the Winter Soldier above his head, and then he took off his mask when he flipped him over, and then he turned around and it's Bucky. Oh my God, it's Bucky. People who gasped in the audience are people. If the people who gasped in the audience or legitimately shocked or surprised at that reveal, you can already tell that they're not comic book fans. That they're not comic book fans like you and me. Like we know our shit, but... So, and another thing that I want to talk about is, like, I never noticed this. And, when I watch these MCU movies, I never found like a hint of a theme. Like I never, like when I watch Iron Man or the Incredible Hulk or Thor, I guess the theme for Thor would be the first Thor movie back in 2011. I think that theme would be worthy. I think being worthy. I think that's the theme of that movie, but I didn't really pick it up. When I was watching that movie, I was like, yeah, I'm not sensing a theme. But Captain America: The Winter Soldier, this is the first movie where I actually felt like, yeah, like the word, like trust. Like the theme for this movie is trust, because that word, trust, is being said over and over again by so many characters. So many characters are saying the word trust, 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 trust. And it comes to a point where I'm like, where I pick it up and I'm like, yeah, the theme for this movie is trust. Like, who do you trust? Who do you trust and who do you not? Who shouldn't you trust? Because who knows? Because the person standing right next to you could be a member of Hydra. So yeah, I never really picked up on a theme except that. And another thing I want to talk about, I'm almost finished. Another thing I want to talk about is the action scene. Like, I don't know who the Russo brothers like hired. I don't know the names of the people that the Russo brothers hired to be the stunt coordinators, because like the fucking action scenes in this movie is just like, it's fast, it's brutal, it's and some of it actually gets you like on the edge of your seat, like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. And speaking of action scene, and of course it would be a tragedy if I did not mention this scene in this movie, and that is the elevator scene. You know what I'm talking about, the elevator scene. You've seen it in the trailers, and in this movie, actually watching it, the scene in the movie, it's performing that amount of action in that tight, closed space, in an elevator. Not a lot of space to move around, not a lot of space, but to pull it off, it's just flawless and just amazing. Like, I remember after watching that elevator scene, I was like, that was one of the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in a movie. Like I said, the Russo brothers. Who knew that the Russo brothers, that these brothers, and that these two pair would continue on with the MCU and would make, and all the movies that the Russo brothers directed. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked up how much money this movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier made at the box office. But something tells me it's got to be a lot. I don't know if it's a billion. I don't know if it's a billion. But I know, like, of course, Infinity War and Endgame, it brought in like over $2 billion at the box office, and the same thing with Civil War. Like, all the movies that the Russo brothers directed, which is Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, all those movies are just amazing and epic and emotional, and it's just some of the best things I've ever seen. And last but not least, I would like to wrap this up, is the post-credit scenes. The first one is we get introduced to the character of Baron Strucker, who managed to get his hands on the scepter, on Loki's scepter from the first Avengers movie. But that's not it. Yeah, we got Baron Strucker, but that's not it. We get something that is totally amazing. That's totally amazing. And that is the twins. We get introduced to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And for those who are wondering, why is Quicksilver in this movie? Like, why is Quicksilver in this movie and in the X-Men movies at the same time? And it's because Fox and Disney or Marvel Studios, whatever, they both studios own the rights to Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, but they came to an agreement to Disney, Marvel, they decided, okay, we're not going to call them mutants, and we're not going to call and they're not going to be children of Magneto. And for the X-Men, Quicksilver, and on the X-Men side, they're just going to say that they're not members of the Avengers, no association with that team. So they just came to an agreement. So that's why both of them both companies are using Quicksilver. But yeah, definitely setting up Avengers, definitely leading into Avengers: Age of Ultron. And then last but not least, I didn't see this I didn't see the. I saw the post credits scene in theaters, but I haven't seen the end credits scene, and that is when Bucky Barnes, he goes to the museum. He goes to the Captain America museum to know and understand what he's been, what he's missing out and all that, and trying to get his memories back together. And so that's basically it. He's going in. So Bucky is going into the Captain America museum and trying to get his memories back together. And also, by the way, Sebastian Stan, by the way, the Winter Soldier, when he got his, when Captain America threw his shield, and then Winter Soldier caught it. For that brief second, I was thinking to myself, in the comics, yeah, that was cool, because in the comics, Bucky does become Captain America, in the comics. So it was a nice little nod to that. I wish it would happen, in the it would be really cool if it happened in the MCU, but I don't. Nope, because Falcon himself, Sam Wilson does become the new Captain America, or not so Captain America. I don't know what's going on with, is he or is he not Captain America? But anyway, that and Sebastian Stan. Oh yeah, Sebastian Stan. His performance, I thought his performance as the Winter Soldier was very. You could see the pain. You could see the pain in Steve's eyes, and the horror in Bucky's eyes when the two of them are fighting on top of that falling helicarrier. When Bucky's punching Cap and telling him, "You are my mission." It was kind of rough, because these two, they've been best friends since World War II, for all these years, and to have Hydra come in and twist Bucky's mind and turning him into a cold-hearted assassin, and then it was really rough. It was really rough to imagine that kind of situation, trying to fight your own best friend who doesn't remember you. But that's pretty much it. That's my review for Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Not much. There's nothing really important that's for me to say. There is Sharon Carter. Captain America does go back try to go to, when I said that he's trying to, he's adjusting to the modern world, he's trying to catch up. He does that by going to the museum, to the Captain America museum, and then meeting with Peggy Carter, who's now an elderly woman, who's now a sick elderly woman, and then Crossbones. Speaking of strike team, Crossbones. Crossbones, Sharon Carter, Peggy Carter. It is cool. It was cool. Of Crossbones, Crossbones' design, on his chest. On his chest, it's like the X cross, he is, his suit in the comics. I thought it was a nice little nod to that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. like I said, I don't want to talk about like the plot details. I don't want to go into the plot. This is a review, not a plot summary. This video is a review, not a plot summary. So that's pretty much it. That's my review for Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and let me know what you thought about this movie. And what do you know? And at the beginning of this movie, at the beginning of this video, I said I don't want to talk about I don't want to go on and on about 30 minutes, but I'm already past that. But yeah, the next movie on the list is Guardians of the Galaxy, and like I said, I apologize that I haven't continued with this MCU movie trend. I mean, like I said, my Thor: The Dark World movie review was, it feels like a year ago at this point. And sorry about the long gap in between. But now I'm back. But that's not it. But that's not just it. So coming up soon, before I close off, I will be reviewing Frozen 2. I don't know. I'm not so sure if I want to review the first Frozen movie. We'll see. I have to check my schedule and see if I have the time and patience to watch Frozen, to sit down, watch Frozen, and then do my movie review, and then upload it here on YouTube. We'll see. But yeah, definitely Frozen 2. And I will be reviewing season 2 of Titans next weekend. So the next weekend. Next week. So definitely look out for those reviews coming soon. But like I said, I apologize that it's been a long gap, but now I'm back, and we are gonna keep going. We're gonna continue on with these movie reviews all the way leading up to Ant-Man and the Wasp. Because I started my YouTube channel, I think May 2018, and I decided May 2018, and I decided that I want to create my own YouTube channel, and to start my own YouTube channel after Ant-Man and the Wasp came out in theaters. So, which is why I already reviewed Captain Marvel all the way. I already reviewed all the MCU movies of 2019, Captain Marvel, Endgame, and Far From Home. So check out those movie reviews if you would like, or my past MCU movie reviews. Check those out, and I will see you when I review Guardians of the Galaxy.